Right, guys. So again, today we're going to be talking through the next 7 days, which is going to be about kind of giving you power and empowerment to understand your emotional and physical states and be able to make a massive impact on them kind of straight away at the start of the day. So the whole point of these 7 days is to give you as much power in life as possible. And that's why the questions that I put in the group earlier were really integral to some of the techniques that I'm going to get you to do as we move through the week. Okay, so it's really important that if you get the time that you go through those questions, because those questions, especially in the morning, are going to set your intention for the day. And then at the end of the day, when you do a bit of an awareness assessment, you can see how you've moved towards everything that you've intended to do that day, both through things that you've designed for yourself, but then I've been quite clever in putting stuff in from my perspective that I feel could be quite powerful as well. So I wanted to impose certain aspects that I feel can really transform your, not only your way of thinking, but your behaviors and your actions as well. So I'm going to talk through what you can expect over the 7 days, what you should get out of the 7 days, and what you'll kind of end up with, if that makes sense, as we move through. If you've got any questions as we go, shout them into the chat. But again, this will be updated daily into the B1 Mindset community group. So as we go through, I'll be continuing to kind of give information and give support in the group itself. So again, the main focus of these 7 days is about how to take control of your mental and emotional states, which is so key because for so many people, this is what creates kind of like disharmony within the body. And it creates a lot of negative emotions and negative thought processes. And this is usually triggered by either something externally, an environment that you're worried about going into. It might be a person that you've got conflict with or that you are struggling to be around. It might be something that you are concerned about going into. It might be a worry about something that's coming up in your future, or it might be something that you can't let go of from the past. And all of these things start to create your state, which you can class as your mood as well. So you could be in a low mood, a depressed mood, an angry mood, a happy mood, an excited mood. So if you could class states into something, I would kind of say mood is the most kind of like associated thing that you could now just say, right, okay, what mood am I in? And that for me epitomizes your state, your mental and emotional state brought together. Now, the thing is, they play a major part on each other as well. So the way you think affects the way that you feel, and vice versa. Sometimes the way that you are feeling can affect your thought processes. It can affect the way you think as well. So they both actually work together and they can affect each other both positively and negatively. So the key to this, as well as understanding thoughts and behaviors, it's also the exercise that I put into the group where it was not only asking kind of things about what you're excited for, what you're grateful for, it was the feelings that you associated with them as well, which is really powerful. So if you thought about the answers and you close your eyes and you associate a feeling, a sensation with that, it's really powerful to start to understand how to do that and understand the feelings, sensations that are coming with the emotions that you are having. Because then when we move into some of the meditation work, some of the visualization and intent setting work for the day, the more you can tune your positive feelings towards that, the more that changes your states, emotional states, your mental states, and this transverse effect takes over your day in a positive manner rather than in a negative manner. So guys, I'm going to talk through the setup of every day. There's going to be something to do within the morning. So today I've recorded, this has all been actioned really quickly, by the way. It's kind of like a wave that came to me and I thought, I want to introduce something. When I went away myself, I was quite quick in understanding what I needed to do to take action, to take control of my emotional and mental states, to put me in a positive mind frame, to make some key transitions and understandings within my life to make sure I keep moving forward and keep in a good place. And then I felt, why am I not giving this out there? Why am I holding on to this when I can kind of give it out for people to utilize and hopefully transform their lives as well? So that is exactly why I've taken action on this so quickly. So again, working with Liam, I've literally messaged him saying this is something that I want to action and execute. So Liam's been trying to pull loads of strings to kind of get as much of this on the tech side done as possible. So I've got to thank Liam for obviously jumping in and being able to do that for me. So again, guys, that's why there's a few tech issues at the start of this video. But as we move through, everything's going to be smooth and rocking and rolling. So guys, like I said, I've actually recorded something today, and it's going to be something for you to do within the morning, okay, to start your day. So to start your day, it's going to be a case of putting some earphones in and listening to what I've recorded. Now, the key to this is where the answers that I've asked you to write down. I put questions within the group today, and it's really important that the answers to those questions you put some real thought into. So if you haven't done those yet, I really recommend taking some time tonight to sit down on your own, if possible, with limited distractions, and putting some real thought behind those questions. Some real thought behind those questions, because when we go into the meditation in the morning, one of the things that I'm going to get you to do is think about the answer that you've given, but not think about it to assess it. Think about it to visualize it, to set your intentions for the day. So all of the answers that you've written down, you need to memorize. You need to think about them so that when you go into the meditation, you are not questioning what you've written down, but rather positively reinforcing it, that these are your intentions for yourself for the day. And that's how the impact of this starts to transition the way you are thinking and the way you are feeling, which then starts to create your behaviors and who you are through the day. And that then helps you make the correct decisions or make the right choices through the day as well. So it all interlinks, guys. And the more you can stay in line with this, the better you feel about yourself. The better you feel about yourself, the more positive you are, the more growth you've got, the more you move forward in the direction that you want to move forward into. Okay. So there's going to be something first thing in the morning for you to do. So if you're at work, if you're looking after the kids, if you've got anything to do, you need to set your alarm a little bit earlier. I'm going to talk through what that is in a second. There's some stuff that I won't be going into right now just because I'm on Instagram Live as well. But what I will do, guys, I'm going to jump into the group specifically after and give you the key details of what you need to do in the morning and through the day. Okay, so this is more of a full overview. Then I'm going to drop in with some absolute keys that you need to do. Now, through the day, there's going to be some tips and cues for how to stay aware through the day. So awareness is key. It's such a massive word for me, that being aware of how you are thinking and how you are feeling throughout the day and what's causing any effects. So if you do start to feel negative, or you start to feel angry, or something triggers you, basically, like, what is that? What has caused that? Okay, not the effect, what's the cause? Can you be aware of that? And that then starts to be able to help you transition by understanding what the cause is. Then we've got stuff that you can bring in to hopefully positively reinforce a new direction, a new way of thinking, a new way of feeling. Or we can understand, right, we need to cut this out of our lives. This is affecting us on a daily basis. We need to take this out of our life, or we need to address it. So that's where the tips and cues throughout the day of being aware are going to play a massive role in this as well. And then the last bit is just assessing the day. So at the end of the day, understanding, where could I have improved? Like, when I set my intentions at the beginning of today for the way I wanted this day to kind of go and everything I want to achieve and who I want to be, when you assess that at the end of the day, without judgment, you're not judging yourself, because if you make mistakes, you make mistakes. And I hold my hands up that I still make plenty of mistakes. But what I do is I assess it, and I'm aware of what mistakes I've made. And the reason why this is so powerful is if you can actually assess and understand it, it's a measuring protocol. So that the next time it happens, if it happens again the next day, you actually pull yourself back and you think, 1 minute, I did this yesterday and I made the wrong decision. So today I'm going to be a lot more aware. And if this pops up again, I can make the correct decision. And the correct decision is what's true to yourself, true to whether you're aiming for a goal, whether you've got a vision or something that you are working towards, or just the person that you want to be. So if you make a mistake or a decision that didn't align with who you wanted to be, but you could become aware of that, then the following day, if the same thing arises, you've got the awareness to take a step back and think, 1 minute, what should I do in this situation? What did I do to take me the wrong direction yesterday? So that awareness is key. Again, I'll keep saying that word, awareness is such a massive thing. So I'm going through my notes now, guys. So there's basically going to be something mental and physical to start your day. So there'll be something mental, so some thought processes that we're going to bring into play. And again, I'm not telling you what to think, and that's why the answers to the questions are so key. If you've got to create the answers to your questions, guys. I'm not designing your life for you. I'm not designing your thoughts for you. What I'm giving you are tools and techniques for you to design your life the way you want to think and the way you want to feel. So the questions that I put into the group are so key. Okay, so the mental things are going to be you designing your thought processes and setting up your day. The physical is to kind of bring out some real positive emotions straight away to spark your day up. I want to spark your day so you are feeling good, motivated, driven and passionate and happy and excited straight away. I want to make you alive in the morning to start your day already. And again, these feelings and then these thought processes that you've created right beginning in the morning, as soon as you wake up, you slam positivity in the face, and that's going to continue to drive you through the day. So that's the empowerment. That's why I'm giving you that empowerment to take and grab and take forward. Okay. So it's going to boost your focus. It's going to create a positive impact straight away. And again, it's you setting your intentions for the day. And then I've put how. So guys, this is something quite interesting. So this is where I'm going to play a bit of a role. So each day, guys, I'm going to give you a word. And it's basically going to be a trait, a strength, a characteristic. It's going to be a specific word. Now, guys, the first thing that I want you to do, I'm going to give you this the night before so you can plan and prep it. It's not going to require a hell of a lot of plan and prep, but it's going to require you to do a little bit of thought around it, okay? So when I bring this word into play, and it'll be a trait, a characteristic, could be a value, a strength. The first thing I want you to do is define it in your own words. So what does that word, what does that trait mean to yourself? And you can go into as much detail as you want. The more detail, the better. You can give examples, but definition is key. I need you to define the word that I put in. Okay, what does it mean to you? Like, how would you define that word? Don't look it up. Don't ask anyone else. The meaning behind it that you give is so important. It's so important. So when I put each day, there's going to be a different one. And I'm going to tell you the benefit of that in a minute. So I'm going to put a different word in. It'll be a trait, it'll be a characteristic, it'll be strength, it'll be a value. I want you straight away to define it. Write down, journal down what that word means to yourself. Okay. And then, guys, 1 second. And then, guys, once you've defined it, you're going to create an action for it. You are going to create an action for that trait, for that characteristic, for that value. Okay, whatever word I put in, you're going to define it first, and then you're going to create an action for it, an action for the following day, something that you're going to implement the following day. Could be something you're going to implement once. It could be something that you're going to implement a numerous amount of times. It doesn't have to be an actual action or behavior. It could be a thought process. It could be a feeling that you're going to bring up. However you want to work this, I'm going to give loads of examples within the group as well. So if you get a bit lost within any of this, don't worry, I'm going to support you through it. But once you've defined it, you're then going to create an action for it. So then every single day, you're going to have something that you are working towards, okay? Now, not only will you have a positive intention and focus for that day, you will finish the week with this. So you're going to finish the week, 7 days, with 7 strengthened traits and characteristics, because I'm going to put a new one in every single day. So every single day, you're going to have defined what this means to you, and you're going to have created an action that you're going to implement, a new behavior, a new thought, a new feeling. So by the end of it, you're going to have 7 new actions, new behaviors that support who you want to be going forward. And they should all be positive. I hope they'll all be positive, empowering, impactful. These are all things that are going to be taking your life forward, taking you forward, moving you forward, making you feel better. This is powerful stuff. So at the end of the 7 days, you've got to have created this for yourself. You'll have definitions of what they mean to you. You'll have actions that can you then create a habitual pattern with these. That's down to you. That's down to your want. Okay. You're also going to have awareness of what is toxic and negative within your life. Now, I want to make these 7 days as empowering as possible. And that's why it's mainly focused around these traits, these characteristics that are going to take you forward. You can relate them to goals or just to be the best version of yourself. Like, how can you define yourself within that so that you can act and think this way? But also, I do want to make you aware of anything toxic in your life, anything negative, because these are the things that will affect you. We can set you up. We can do the meditation in the morning. We can move your body in the morning. We can make you feel alive and ready for the day. And then an hour, you get a phone call off someone. You go into work, you see someone, something happens, and suddenly your mood drops. You get angry, you feel down, and it all goes to shit. That's life. You can't control what's happening outside of you. Anything outside of you can happen. Like, you are not in control of that. What you are in control of is yourself. So I want to create awareness of what's toxic and negative within your life. So you can do two things. Number one, you can fucking remove it. You can take it out of your life. Yeah. Or number two, you can be aware and think, right, I can't take it out of my life, unfortunately, but I can address it. I can either address it by speaking to someone or doing something about it, or I can address it by changing my perspective of it. Like, how I actually look at this. Are there ways that I can look at it differently so it doesn't affect me the way it is right now? And again, these are tools and techniques that are quite deep that I can work with you on, but these are quite in depth with mindset. But what I want to bring to light in these 7 days is what is toxic, what is negative within your life, what is affecting you, what is making you feel down. This week's about empowering you, giving you positivity to move forward every single fucking day. You're going to be starting the day excited and driven. So if something starts to knock you as you go through the day, you're going to start to be aware of exactly what that is. And then again, it comes down to you to make the decision of what to do with that. If you've got something toxic and negative within your life that's repetitive and you're doing nothing about it, that's your fault. That's your fault. You are sat with that. And I'm being honest with that because I've done that myself. I've sat with negativity and toxic things within my life and I didn't do anything about them, and it drove me down. And I always put the blame on other people, and it was my fault. I was the only one that could sort it out. So I took that and I took it. I took stuff out and I addressed other stuff, and I changed my mindset on other stuff. And it completely transitioned myself. It transitioned my mental and emotional states, which is exactly what this is. The other thing you're going to get, guys, is an awareness of the best version of yourself, which is something that I put within the group. I ask you that question because on a day-to-day basis, are you living that? Are you being that person? And all of it's an evolution. That question should always be evolving. For myself, especially, I'm always evolving. I'm always learning off different people, off different things. I'm probably a different person than I was 6 months ago, and I'll be a different person in 6 months because I want to continue to grow and develop. And again, the beliefs that I hold right now today, I've completely changed my way of looking at beliefs, and I understand that in 6 months' time, a lot of the beliefs that I hold today I might not believe anymore, just because of new research or new things that I've learned or new people that have been around. So I'm very open-minded now. But when you talk about being the best version of yourself, that is just on a day-to-day basis. Can you keep aligned with who you want to be? And again, are you letting things negatively affect you, or can you stay in control of that? So within that, guys, in the evening, we're going to do a task again on how to measure everything that I'm talking about. So everything that I've gone through, what a lot of people can do is take this on board and start it off. And then at the end of the day, they kind of subconsciously ignore everything. They push it to the side. And then they wake up the next day and they go through the exact same process. And then they ignore it, push it away, and then the next day they wake up and go through the exact same process. And it's that fear. It's the fear of actually dealing with something. It's the fear of actually stepping up and being this new person. It's the fear of actually believing in yourself that you can be the best version of yourself. Because for a lot of people, they want to be someone, but they struggle to be that person through fear of judgment, through lack of belief in themselves, through lack of confidence, through the way they feel about themselves. There's so many things that affect it. But for a high percentage of people, they would probably describe their best version of themselves differently than they are being. So the assessment and measurement protocol that I'm going to bring in the evening just helps you understand how you have been through the day. And that then starts to create this. It is an evolution. It is an evolving process. Like every day and every week, you will always have things that you can continue to work on. And that's a good way to be. So guys, the evening task will be to assess and measure, and I'm going to show you how to do that as well. And then just a way of noting limiting thoughts, which I'm going to put more around this within the group, because again, this fits into the task that I put in the other week about taking action and why people don't take action. And it's generally down to limiting thoughts, fearful thoughts, again, staying within a comfort zone, not wanting to step outside of that, the fear of failure, the fear of judgment, all of these things. So I'm actually going to do another video around how to note down limiting thoughts and understand if there's a pattern to them, is there a cause to them, if that makes sense as well? For a lot of people, it's a pattern that's been processed from an earlier age, or through a trauma or through something that's happened to them quite severe. For other people, it's just through stress and overwhelm, and then that creates the limiting thoughts that pop up. But when they take that stress and overwhelm away, their actual limiting and negative thoughts drop quite quickly. For other people who have had it programmed into them, they need to transition that. They need a little bit more depth into what's programmed that and then how to transition out of that. So again, I'm going to do a longer video on that one, guys, because it's quite deep. So guys, there's going to be actions and methods to be used every day at any time to positively change your state. So what I mean by that is, once you start to understand what we're doing on a day-to-day basis, you can utilize all this anytime through the day to change your state, to positively impact how you are feeling, to make you feel better about yourself, to make sure you're in line with who you want to be. If you're after the goal, if you're after a change, it's going to help you stay in line with that. And the more in line you are with what you are chasing, the better you feel about yourself, which is so key and so important. So the process is to give you empowerment to make you feel good. And again, if you are in line with who you want to be, generally you will feel good about yourself. If you are out of line with who you want to be and you are doing things that you aren't too happy with, that's when you start to feel quite negative about yourself. And for a lot of people, they make decisions that they're not too happy with. They make it in a quick moment of pleasure, like something that's going to bring them pleasure. And after they've done it, they regret it, and it takes them away from potentially where they're trying to get to or who they want to be. The idea around this week, guys, is empowerment. So what I would say to you is create that intention and understanding of the person that you want to be for whatever change it is you want, whether you are chasing a goal, whether you're just trying to be a certain person. Like you need to go inside yourself here, guys, and understand exactly what you want to make this as powerful as it can be. But the methods I'm going to give you here can transform you at any point through the day. It's going to kickstart you in the morning in the most positive way possible, but then it's down to you to keep that momentum going through the day. Now, there will be things that affect you. So when something does affect you, don't let that drag you even further down. Things will happen this week. Okay, it's an evolution, it's a process. Look at this week as a foundation. If you can hit these 7 days and learn as much as you can from them about yourself and about how these techniques and tools work, and then look at it as, right, okay, so all I need to do now is just keep repeating everything I'm doing. And you will start learning more and more about yourself. You will start learning more and more about the things that are affecting you. And then you start to create your own process of how you move forward to be the best person that you can be and achieve everything that you want to achieve. And again, when I say achieve, that might be achieving a specific goal, going to the next level in a specific area or a specific hobby. It might be down to progressing in business and starting a business up and going towards that. It might just be about being more positive in life and getting away from negative circumstances, feeling better about yourself. It might be taking control of the thoughts within your mind and you're struggling to sit with those thoughts on a daily basis. There's a statement around that we have around 90% of our thoughts, 80 to 90% of our thoughts are the same day to day. We have the same thoughts 80 to 90% of the time, every single day. Like they're the same thoughts. And the scarier fact is for most people, they are negative thoughts. They are limiting thoughts. And people allow that to happen. But you can change that and you can take control of that. And this process that I'm trying to give you right now is about giving you empowerment. And guys, this is free. I'm putting this on for free. This is 7 days of just me trying to give you something to help you take control, give you power to make a massive impact and shift on your life. So guys, I'm going to give more details into the B1 Mindset community group now for tomorrow. I'm going to give you the word. And I'm just going to give you a nudge to answer those questions that I put in earlier. Okay. And then we're going to upload what you need to listen to tomorrow morning. And I'm just going to give you a few tips and little tips to help you through tomorrow and then the rest of the week. And then guys, remember, I'll be there with Liam through the week within the group. And we're going to additionally support you guys through these 7 days. So guys, good luck. All I'd say is take the time now to go back into the group if you haven't already. Look over the questions and just take some time to truly answer them as best as you can. Don't rush through them. Put some thought into them. Put feeling and emotion into them. The more feeling and emotion you can get into these questions and answers, the more impactful they will be. The more impactful they will be. Okay. So guys, that's it. That's the wrap up. This is 7 days to massively impact your life in a positive way. Trying to give you as much power as possible to not only start your day in an empowering way, but at any point through the day, be able to change into a positive and empowering state. And then it's down to you. It's down to you to take that and implement it. And if you can't continue to implement it, you've got to ask yourself, why can't I? What is happening in my life that is pulling my focus, that's pulling me in a direction I truly don't want to go, that is taking my mental and emotional state downward negatively? And why am I letting that happen when I have got the power to take control and change and transform it? Okay. And guys, to finish, this is something that I've implemented on myself. And I've gone from a severe case of struggling mentally and emotionally, negatively, to a position where I am able to understand and be aware of that and transition it into a positive emotional state or positive thought process. I still get affected, but these tools and techniques have made a massive shift within my life. And again, for the people that did know me 10 to 15, 20 years ago, can see that within me. And that's why I'm so passionate now about driving this out to as many people as possible and seeing it impact their lives as well in a positive way. So guys, grab this with everything you've got. Again, as I always say, I'm not an accountability coach. This is all down to you to implement an action. I'll give you all of the support I can, but at the end of the day, it literally comes down to you. How much you want something, how much you want to change, how much you want to think and feel positive, how much you want to make a change and shift within your life. It's all down to yourself, guys. Only you can make that change, no one else. The last thing I'll say is, so many people wait for a trauma or something really bad to happen in life before they make a change. It's like they wait for something horrendous to happen, and then that creates such a shift mentally. It's like then they go and make a positive impact because they've had enough. But there's so many people just in that middle state drifting through, and they do want something more, but they just haven't got the impetus, just that fucking kick to go and get it. But there's only one person that's going to give you that kick, and it's got to come from you. It's truly got to come from you. So if you sat there now listening to this, guys, grab this 7 days with everything you've got, and hopefully you can start to see how much you can actually make a positive impact on your life. So we're going to wrap it up, guys. The guys in the community group, I will be touching base in there tonight, just dropping a few notes in regarding the setup for tomorrow. Please go back and look over those questions and put some detail into them. Remember, you can reach out to me at any time and ask me any questions, but please engage in the group as much as you can. If you're doing these 7 days, please feedback, use the support within the group as well. Excuse me. I'm going to leave it there, guys. Thank you for joining me. Good luck. I'm there to help, but it's down to you to take action. As always, go and get it, guys. Enjoy.